I'd like to call the December 9th business meeting to order. First up, Pledge of Allegiance. Van, lead us in the pledge. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Deanna, complete the roll call.
Catherine Carter, President.
Here.
Rebecca Moody, Vice President.
Here.
Denise Hall, Commissioner.
Here.
Liz McNaney, Commissioner.
Here.
Gregory Mull, Commissioner. Sandra Zadell, Township Manager.
Here.
Megan Weaver, Assistant Township Manager.
Here.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor.
Here.
Nicholas Cross, Township Engineer.
Here.
David Duffy, Chief of Police. Brian Shapiro, Finance Director. David Conroy, Zoning Officer.
Thank you. Next up, we'd like to recognize Van Reeker on his retirement. Whereas E. Van Reeker has faithfully and diligently served the community for many years as a zoning officer and planning coordinator, contributing significantly to the development and well-being of our local area. And whereas through his expert knowledge of zoning laws, planning principles, and development regulations, Mr. Riker has provided invaluable guidance to local residents, developers, and government officials, ensuring that growth and change in a thoughtful, responsible, and sustainable manner. And whereas Mr. Riker's tireless efforts have ensured that zoning decisions and planning processes were carried out with the fairness, clarity, and transparency, fostering an environment where the needs of the community were always balanced with the preservation of its character and resources. And whereas his leadership and commitment have had a lasting positive impact on local area, creating a foundation for future growth while respecting the history and vision of the community. And whereas Mr. Riker has exemplified the highest standards of professionalism, dedication, and service in his role, earning the respect and admiration of his colleagues, community members, and local officials alike. And whereas as a result of his outstanding contributions, Mr. Riker's legacy will continue to be felt for years to come, as his work has shaped the present and future of our community's planning and zoning landscape. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the Board of Commissioners of Upper Gwynedd Township, do hereby recognize and extend our deepest gratitude to E. Van Riker for his many years of exceptional service as zoning officer and planning coordinator. His dedication, hard work, and commitment to our community have been immeasurable. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seal of the Board of Commissioners to be affixed this 9th of December, 2024. Congratulations and thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to make a motion to approve this proclamation for E. Van Riker on his retirement. Can I have a second?
So moved.
Any board comments?
I'd like to make a comment. I just wanted to say a couple things real quick, Van. I've been fortunate enough to work with Van for the past 4 years. I started with the township as an alternate to the zoning hearing board, where Van always took the time to share his expertise and explain complex zoning issues. And I'm currently the liaison to the planning and zoning departments, where I've been able to get even more insight into Van's impact into our community. Van is an expert in zoning matters and has been instrumental in guiding our township. He's always remained professional with an ability to maintain fairness and impartiality while enforcing zoning regulations. And he does it all with a smile on his face and an ability to make everyone laugh. Van is one of a kind, and we are all lucky to have worked with him. I want to wish you a happy and relaxing retirement.
Anybody else?
I would like to say something. Van, your patience and experience has been so helpful for us for the past 7 years. I've learned a lot about paper streets and movie lots. And I've learned new words and terms like adjudicate. That's a word you use a lot, and I like that. And because of you, I have been told that you say Whitpin correctly. So you've also taught us how to say that. So for that, I thank you for everything that you've been doing for this township and for us as a board and individually, and you will be missed. But since you are a resident, I hope we still see you around. Thank you.
Van, as I told you, when I first came to the township in this position, it was like a foreign language to me, especially my first PRC meeting. And you were always just so helpful. You taught me so much about how all of this works. And I always felt like I could have lots of extra sessions with you where you'd go into great length to explain to me not even just my specific question, but also everything surrounding it, which really was super helpful. You will be so missed. We already miss you. Thanks, Van.
Van, I just wanted to thank you for your service to this township. I've had the opportunity to work with you both as a resident, proving my fence and other things that we've done along the way years ago, and now working with you as a township commissioner and seeing the expertise you bring to the township. It really, truly is a pleasure to have a professional like you working alongside an incredible township staff. So thank you very much, and best wishes for an amazing retirement. But I hope to see you out there again.
And finally, Van, I'd like to thank you for answering all of my questions, especially when I was a new commissioner, for your write-ups, making sure that the streets were listed by address and not by neighborhoods. So I know exactly where I was going as I tried to go through all the zoning addresses every week. I appreciate you taking the time to explain everything in regular people terms. And just your expertise has been invaluable. And for me, as a new commissioner, in learning the zoning from R2 to R6 to the paper streets and all of that has been an experience, but I'm definitely better for it. And I appreciate it and thank you.
Van, you survived the Bucks County ladies invasion. When I got hired, Van and I love to joke because I live in Bucks County, but Van obviously thinks Montgomery County's best, and I do too, because I work here and love Upper Gwynedd so much. But when I got hired, I think you just embraced me with open arms. You always were willing to listen to my new ideas and bring the history of Upper Gwynedd too, so that we could work together to provide something really great for the residents. I just really appreciate your openness and your willingness to work with whatever I threw your way. And I'm going to miss you terribly. You can tell because I already texted you. You've only been gone for like a week. So thank you for all you've done for the residents. And I can't say anything different than everyone else has said. You've been awesome. Oh my goodness.
I'm actually worried I might cry, Van. But I am just, no, I know. I'm forever grateful for everything that you've taught me. You've been wonderful to work with for the past close to 5.5 years. Just working beside you, you make everything lighter, but you also take zoning very, very seriously. So it has been a really great mix of interactions with you. So I'm very grateful to have worked beside you, and I'm very respectful of you. So thank you for everything you've taught me and just your friendship too.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't do
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, there's more. Wait, Van,
before you do that. Is there anyone for public comments? Come on up.
Oh.
Oh, there's quite a few.
This public comment is just about Van's retirement.
Yes.
Good evening, Greg Landis, 770 Sunnytown Pike, on behalf of Merck. Van, you have seen us through some major change on the site. 2 deed consolidations of both major properties, 6 building demolitions, and the addition of 8 buildings over 500,000 square feet. You taught me, I thought I knew the code before you taught me the code. So I appreciate that and all the help you've been through the years and your friendship as well. So thank you, and please enjoy retirement.
Next. Yes.
You don't have to get up. You can stay there. Josh, could you bring her the... I am a loud boy. Thank you.
Deborah Worstel, at 608, 616 South Broad Street and Gosling Drive. Van has helped me so much with my commercial investment properties. And I guess I should sell everything because I don't know if anybody would put up with me like he does. But anyway, I just want to thank you so much for all the time that you've taken calls and emails. And I wish you the best. I hate to see you go, but I'm supposed to be retiring myself, but I'm a little too hard-headed for that. So I wish you the best. Deborah Worstel.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you. Any other community members? Go ahead, Nick.
I'd like to add something, man. I mean, I don't know if I was considered on the board or public. Nick Cross, 1052 Crozier Lane, Springfield Township, Delaware County. I just wanted to, echo all the sentiments that everybody had said here. My time here over the last 4 or 5 years in Upper Gwynedd Township have been great. Everybody I've worked with has been great. And, every time that I have to talk with Van, it's usually going to be a quick 30-second phone call. It turns into a 20-minute phone call. And I've enjoyed every second of those phone calls with Van because, I've learned a lot about zoning, about planning over my time over the last 4 or 5 years as, I got my feet wet in the municipal realm. And, I really owe a lot to the Van. So I just wanted to wish him well.
All right, now I'm going to jump in.
Oh, man.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you, Van. The knowledge that you have of this code is and everything happening in this township has just been phenomenal. It's made this role and coming into this role just seamless. And so I just wanted to thank you for everything over the last 4 years. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, everybody. I just be real quick. This is not about me. It's about the culture of the township. And so it's a team effort. And while I think I brought a lot of experience to this job, it became a dream job thanks to the top down and left to right support from the government, the commissioners, all the assistants, all the staff that we have. It was any question, the chief, financial, it didn't matter, the engineers, it didn't matter. We all worked together as a great team. So it made my sort of last 12 years in this profession a dream effort. I want to thank you all for helping make my job as, I wouldn't say easy, but as productive as it has been. Thanks to the Zoning Hearing Board, also the Planning Commission, everybody that is kind of, embraced by the township are very productive and committed to the future of the township. So this was just an easy assignment from my point of view. So thanks, everybody.
Liz coming for a hug. I was
Thanks,
gonna reach
everybody.
out for her like this.
You
You're the
did
best,
good.
Van.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Everyone's gonna feel a hug from you, man.
Thank you, everyone. Next up, Lauren, were there any executive sessions?
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, the board met in executive session earlier this evening to discuss matters of collective bargaining. And the board also met in executive session following its meeting on November, apologize, I gotta find the date. November 18th to discuss matters of potential litigation. I'm sorry, November 19th.
Thank you. Next up, we have public comments. No one else signed up, but is there anyone in the audience that would like any public comments at this time? Please come up, state your name and address if you're a No, just resident. Come on up.
Hang on a sec. One moment. It says push and it'll turn green.
Got it? Okay. Just a couple comments about the 1500 Penbrook Parkway proposal. I was here at the last meeting, and I was here at the meetings last year when this first came, I guess, in its previous version. And I just want to say that I listened to a lot of the arguments that everybody had at the time. I got a good education from Van in those meetings about the order at which all of this stuff proceeds through the zoning review and the pre-work that goes into all of that. And I just want to say that as a resident of Upper Gwynedd for over 10 years now, and living in the area for a long time, I don't support the proposal, but I'm not here to say that I oppose it either. I feel like the type of residents that we're talking about there, I know that at the time, our police chief did due diligence calling to some of the other properties that were owned by the Walters Group and confirmed that there was no significant amount of crime coming out of those and that the properties were well managed, and there was other investigations to make sure that they were clean and well maintained. And I just want to say that in this area, we have a housing shortage, an affordable housing shortage. And my understanding of this proposal is that it will bring some diversity to what we have here in Upper Gwynedd. And I'm hoping if it does get passed, out of those residents, we'll see recruits for our police department. We'll see young teachers in our school district. We'll see people who check you in at the doctor's office, all of those places where we need folks who can afford to live there versus some of the more expensive housing that we hear in the township. We need a diversity of all those economic strata to fill all of the roles that we need so that when we go to the grocery store or the hardware store, they have more than one lane open because they can't staff the store. So I just want to say, I'm not necessarily here to support the proposal, but I know that there's probably a lot of people that come to the meetings that are opposed to it. But from everything that I've heard last year when it was reviewed the first time, I don't consider it a threat to Upper Gwynedd. I don't think it's going to change the nature of our township. Some of those phrases that have been used in the past, I just want to make sure that you all hear that there are some people here that do not oppose the proposal. Thank you. Oh, one other thing. It is going to be on Penbrook Parkway if it goes through, which is right where the Liberty Bell Trail is going to be. So if the design does not yet account for some amount of bike racks where people come visiting people there live, in addition to the parking spaces, which I know are part of the plan, it would be cool if there was a little bit of that accommodation in the design package for that also. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. No. Josh, want to give her the mic again, please? What did she say her name is?
Deb?
I'm sorry, can you say your name again?
Deborah Worstel. I've lived on Gosling Drive since 1986. I've paid taxes since 1986. I have an issue with 1500 Penbrook Parkway. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend some of the past meetings because I was out of town helping a sick relative. But my concern is, it was about 15, 20 years ago, I got a letter. I have a real estate business in the area, saying that there would be no more residential building because of the sewer system and the water system would be compromised. This town was a small town. It goes way back. I even have pictures of one of my buildings the owner sent me from 1892 on South Broad Street. When I sold real estate, I sold it in White Marsh, Plymouth Township, and my clients that couldn't afford that area, I'd say, let's go up to North Wales and this area. I don't believe this town was meant to be a big city. And it's becoming more and more like a large city, which is very disturbing to me. There's been more accidents. There's been horrible drivers in the area. And I think this would even create more problems for traffic. It would put more pressure on the police department. And I know that there's many housing residents like this around our area. Souderton, Telford, many different areas. So I'm going to say as little as possible and get to the point, which I think I have. But I don't think we, how can I say this? I just have a lot of concerns because I know housing at Pheasant Run, my girlfriend's boyfriend built it many years ago. It was a beautiful place. Now it's, I'm pretty sure, federally owned and operated. My girlfriend had to move out of there because the crime and what was going on was horrific. There's no guarantee. I mean, and we can't discriminate for sure. I never have, never will. But I'm just very much opposed to it. I don't think we need any more congestion. I think we even have horse posts on Main Street in North Wales next to Tony's Pizza. And I moved up here from Flowertown. Flowertown was getting too crowded. And then I moved right into the explosion of building, and it just, I just think it would be too much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That ends our public comments. Next up are departmental reports. I'll turn it over to David Conroy.
Dave is our new zoning officer. We're still going to call you new for like 20 years.
I understand. Completely understand. And Van, congratulations. That's all I can say. I will never fill your shoes, trust me. So, but anyway, on to, as I said last month, the exciting world of planning and zoning. Couple projects that are ongoing. There really is not much going on yet with 1327 East Prospect. They received zoning relief, like I said, last month in May. Got planning commission approval in June. We're just waiting on the revised plans so we can review them at this time. We do have a couple of zoning hearing board applications this month. One is 1113 Church Street. They have 2 short-term rentals at the single-family dwelling they need zoning relief for. And the other one that came in within the last couple weeks is 208 Granary Lane. They want to put living area above their detached garage, which was approved. The detached garage was actually, they did get zoning relief earlier this year, I believe for the height variance, but now they want to put living area above the detached garage, which needs zoning relief. And 1500 Pembroke Parkway, we're just waiting on revised plans after the initial review letter that our township engineer sent out. And that's really it.
Thank you. Next, I'll turn it over to Nick Cross.
Thank you, Catherine. I won't use the word out of respect for Willard and the Public Works Department, but it is that time of year as the weather starts to get a little bit colder. The white stuff and ice conditions are going to become more prevalent. We just want to remind everybody some good practices when dealing with it as to shovel as early as you possibly can and often. so it doesn't have time to compact and freeze. And if you're working with salt to melt ice and the white stuff, just make sure that you don't over ice or over over salt. Sorry, everybody. Make sure you don't over salt because they're going to have some seriously damaging effects on sidewalk and asphalt. And, you know, it'll have to replace it more often than you typically would. The rule of thumb is typically that you would use 1 handful of salt for every square yard, which is about a sidewalk block. So try to keep that in mind as the weather continues to cool off and we start to run into those issues. Thanks.
Thank you. Next up, Finance Personnel Administration. We're up to number 9. A motion to approve the staff reports. I make a motion to approve the staff reports. Can I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments?
I have a comment and
Which one?
for VMSC. Denise, were you going to say anything about that report? Or, okay.
No, I had not planned.
If I may, for the report for VMSC, it recognized Cassandra Zaremba. She was recognized for her extraordinary compassion, dedication, and community service during a time of profound tragedy in Sodderton. And Jane went on to say that during the tragedy, Cassandra offered and comforted a heartfelt sympathy and practical support for the family and the neighbors deeply affected by the trauma. The MSC is grateful for her exceptional service and commend her for going above and beyond to support those in need. So when I read that, I thought, especially this time of year, it would be nice to just recognize Cassandra in public and thank her for for going above and beyond, like our VMSC and all of our departments do. So I'd just like to thank her for that.
Thank you. Any other board comments? Any public comments? Nick, go ahead.
And leaves would fall. Everybody would rake their leaves and bag their leaves up, put them out to the curb, so that leaves don't get in the sewer system. That's what we were told. As time has gone on, a lot of people have moved. People have moved in the area that are not from areas, I know for a fact. In White Marsh, you put your leaves at the curb, they have a vacuum, picks it up. A lot of people are not aware that they need to pick their leaves up, including my neighbor. But I spend quite a bit of money. Is there a way that you could send a letter out letting people know why their leaves need to be taken off the property? Because I mean, ice and leaves really are a problem. Let's face it. And I see leaves running in the street now. I spent $300 to remove my leaves. Now my neighbor's leaves are on my property now because they refuse to do it. This is something I've noticed in like the last 5 or 6 years. People just don't know about it.
There's just been a little difference in the way that people handle leaves. So still the things that you described are options, bagging at the curb. Sometimes people nowadays prefer to have their leaves recycled rather than put it in the trash. Also, for environmental reasons, it's recommended to let your leaves lie where they are and mulch them on your property because it is less disturbing to creatures. I'm not an environmental expert. Someone from the EAC is probably here, but it's definitely the line that the EPA and the DEP give us is let your leaves lie. So there have been some changes to the way that like people handle their leaves. But we try to educate residents through our newsletter. I mean, it's each resident's decision how they want to do that, if they want to bag them and remove them or let them lie.
Yeah, well, I read in the newsletter that it's best to get them off the property so they can't blow into the sewer.
Well, that's true too, but and that's why they say mulch them to let them lie, not just leave them lying there, but you're supposed to mulch them and still make sure that they get smaller.
Doesn't that require more than just a lawnmower going over it?
No, not usually. Just you need a mulching lawnmower.
Well,
Yeah, the
that's what
kind
I
that chops
thought.
up the grass. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm not in charge of cleaning out the sewer, Mr. Troxel is, so I
Yeah.
just thought I'd bring that up.
I mean, it is best, and it's a good point. The other thing we ask people to do is if they see like a clogged storm drain, if you have one near your property, to let us know. We do have a truck that can remove the leaves from the storm drains. And in general, it's best to not let them get clogged.
Yeah, I just don't know that a lot of people know that in my neighborhood. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. We had a motion and we had approval. Did the board comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have number 10 and 11, motions to approve public meeting minutes of November 12th and 19th. I make a motion to approve public meeting minutes of November 12th and 19th. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I make a motion to approve the budget meeting minutes of October 22nd and October 29th. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Number 14, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-05, the 2025 tax rate, advertised November 15th of 2024. There is no tax hike for Upper Gwynedd. So I make a motion to approve. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-06, the 2025 budget appropriations, again, which was advertised November 15th of 2024. Can I have a second?
I'll make a second.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comment? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to ratify the agreement with Pen Checks for the police pension and VIVA payments with annual 1099-R processing. I did? Oh, I'm sorry. Number 16, back up a little bit. Motion to approve the roof replacement bid award to Vertex Roofing Contractors in the amount of $234,599.50. Can I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments?
It's here. It's our building here. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Number 17, I'd like to make a motion to ratify the agreement with Pen Checks for the police pension and VIVA payments with an annual 1099-R processing. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 18, I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointment or reappointment of various individuals to positions within the township administration and township boards and commissions. Megan, can you pull that up, please? You make it a little larger? Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any board comments? Any public comments?
Carl Smith, yes, I'm a resident. What goes,
Carl, it sounds like it's not.
now, lights on now, okay. I'm curious, I've brought this up in the past, what's the protocol in putting people on these subcommittees? Because I've gone to a few meetings, and my observation is you have to be a Democrat, basically, and have that worldview. That's what I see. I'd like to be proved wrong, but I don't think you can do that. So we've had a couple very qualified interested parties that have a different worldview than all of you, and they haven't been appointed. So what does it take? Excuse me, what's it take?
Thank you for your comment.
Of course. That answers the question.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Megan. Number 19, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Resolution 35-2024, the reappointment of Mark Connolly to the Zoning Hearing Board. Can I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Do you have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now I'd like to turn the meeting over to our Vice President, Rebecca Moody.
Thank you, President Carter. Number 20 on the list, I'd like to make a motion to approve the escrow release number 4, which is the final escrow release for the Moyer Boulevard. Hold on one second. For Moyer Boulevard for Pennington Property Group in the amount of $63,604.40.
Just to
We have-
note that that's a conditional approval.
Why is it conditional?
I'll second.
They're still working, excuse me, they're still working through their final paperwork, so we're working with them to get the deed of dedication and the maintenance security posted. Once all of that is in place, then the escrow will be released to them.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other board comments? Any public comments?
I'm Deborah Murphy again. What is that for? I live on Moyer and
It's the development at the corner of Moyer and West Point Pike, the 10 new twin homes that have been there. It's the developer's escrow that they have with us that we released.
yeah, and I understand they're rental.
Yes. They don't have to be rentals, but they are.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Number 21. Sorry about that. I'd like to make a motion to accept Pennington Properties' dedication of the sanitary facilities and recreational trails subject to the solicitor's final approval of the deed of dedication. And before we move to make the motion, Sandra, would you mind explaining what this is?
Sure. This is a motion to accept the deed of dedication. Oh, okay. Come on. So when developers develop, there's certain items as part of their development that they need to prove to us that they complete, and some items that they dedicate back to the township. So things like sanitary sewer, the trail that was created there, the recreational trail. I'm not sure if there's anything else in here, but those are items that have to be, it's the trail and the sanitary facilities get dedicated to us. So they do the construction work, create the item, and then they dedicate it to the township for us to maintain for the future.
Thank you.
Sure.
We have a motion. Can I have a second? Oh, I'm on. So moved. We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments?
It's the same project as the last motion. It's the same project as the last motion.
Moyer and West Point Pike. Pennington property. Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 22, Rebecca.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the escrow release to Better Living Homes for 115 Weber Roads in the amount of $2,785.21.
We have a motion. Can I have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Motion passes unanimously.
Number 23,
You did.
Oh.
I thought we did.
I didn't say aye.
Jumped ahead.
Sorry.
We were in a rhythm.
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Now the motion passes unanimously. Now we're up to number 23.
Number 23, Merck is requesting permission to perform fire main replacements on various weekends through the winter months up to March 30th, 2025. And it'll be limited to the center area of the site, and it involves excavations with a backhoe to expose, replace piping, underground piping. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Merck waiver request for relief from Chapter 124-5 and 113-1 for after-hours construction work to replace in-ground fire piping mains from weekends, December 22nd, 2024 through March 30th, 2025.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Next, I'll hand the meeting over to Commissioner Hall.
Thank you. I don't have anything under my section, but I did want to remind everyone that it is that time of year again when Santa likes to visit the township via our fire department. So on December 21st, both our fire department, the Upper Gwynedd Fire Department number 80, as well as our neighbors in North Wales, who also serve as part of Upper Gwynedd, number 62, will have Santa on their fire trucks and will be visiting all of the residents of Upper Gwynedd, North Wales, and Lower Gwynedd. So please listen for the sirens and come out and wave to them and bring all the kids and enjoy that great service they provide to us every year. We're so looking forward to it. In addition, the day after, on December 22nd, our fire department does a really unique thing called Sensory Santa. So it's an opportunity for kids to meet with Santa and have that experience, but they are able to do that individually, one-on-one. So you actually go to their website and sign up for a 15-minute block of time between 9 a.m. and noon. And that way, all the needs of that child can be met as far as noise or space or avoiding crowds. And they are really happy to accommodate whatever needs there may be. So it's a really unique thing that our fire department has been doing for the last few years. And if you know anyone who would benefit from that, I hope you will steer them in that direction and encourage them to attend. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'll now turn the meeting over to Commissioner Mall.
Thank you, President Carter. I would like to start by thanking the township for another successful Holiday Lights celebration. For those of you that had the opportunity to attend, you were treated to an amazing dance performance by the kids from Creative Edge Center for the Performing Arts, as well as some vocal performances from select choirs of North Wales Elementary School, as well as Pembroke Middle School. And as a parent that has a kid in each of those, it's quite a delight to see him perform here in the township for the Holiday Lights festivities. And I'd also like to thank some folks in the township that really make it happen behind the scenes. And they get a lot of credit for everything they do, justly. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention Sarah Priebus, Bakir, Leah, Lori, John, and Andrew as additional people who really had a hand in making this event a total success, as well as Christian. So thank you, everybody. And I hope everybody had an opportunity to come out. And if you don't, I look forward to it next year. Thank you.
Your section, Greg.
Yep, thank you. So I'd like to make a motion on agenda item number 24. We're making a motion to approve the agreement with Skelly's Amusements for the carnival. I believe it's a 3-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd like to make a motion.
We have a motion. Can I have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, President Carter. And lastly, agenda item 25, I'm making a motion to approve payment number 2 to Armour and Sons Electric Incorporated for the North Wales Road Trail Crossing in the amount of $15,508.80.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Yes.
I don't know if anything can be done, but Warrior Boulevard, signs are up 25 miles an hour. I live on the corner. Really investigate. People going 50, 60. Middle of the night, my dogs are barking. Loud. Dangerous. I don't know.
Okay. Chief Duffy's back there listening and taking notes.
I've gone a few times. But
All
it
right.
really is.
Thank you. Any other public? All in favor, say aye.
It's a roll call.
Sorry, it's a roll call vote. I saw that and then she got me out. Deanna, can you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mall.
Aye. With that, I'll turn it back to you, President Carter.
Motion, before you turn it, we didn't, right?
We did the.
Right,
You're good.
Okay. Thank you. Now I'd like to make a motion. We're up to wastewater treatment. I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the RAS and WAS pumps from Reorton Materials in the amount of $184,520. Can I have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, can you do a roll call, please?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mall.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the mechanical demo and installation of the RAS and WAS pumps to Blooming Glen contractors in the amount of $110,500. Can I have a second?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the electrical installation of the RAS and WAS pumps to BSI Electrical in the amount of $32,145. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 29, motion to approve the cost of the demo and installation of influent channel bypass gates to Blooming Glen contractors in the amount of $45,000. Can I have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Number 30, I'd like to make a motion to approve the electrical installation of the influent channel bypass gates to BSI Electrical in the amount of $17,820. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Number 31, a motion to approve the December 2024 open invoices. Can I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, can I have a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mall.
Thank you. Number 32, motion to approve the December 2024 paid invoices. Can I have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, I'm sorry, Deanna, can you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mall.
Thank you. Just a reminder that we will not have our second meeting December 16th. So are there any additional board comments?
I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Be safe out there, especially if the weather turns cold, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the new year.
I too like to wish everyone a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas. And again, be safe out there. I'm not supposed to say that word. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone, for coming out on this, inclement weather day. I appreciate all of your assistance and all of your support, and we see you in January 2025. Thank you. This meeting's adjourned.